Hi, this is Shelby and I am with Shallot's Personal Chef Service. I've actually been doing cooking classes probably well over 30 years, but I've never done them on video, so please wish me luck. I thought today I would present two different fish dishes. The reason I'm doing this is because as I've been in the grocery store the last week or so, I noticed, of course, there's no chicken, there's not a lot of way in the meats, but the fish department, especially at Wegmans, where I do most of my shopping, has been pretty well stocked. I know a lot of people have FOF, which is fear of fish, so I thought I would do two very simple dishes to take some of the mystery out of how to make fish at home so that it tastes like you have at a restaurant. The first recipe that I'm going to do is one that several of you, maybe if you've been in my cooking classes before or you've seen me do demos, this is one that's probably my signature dish. This is a salmon with some lovely vegetables done in parchment. And once you start working with parchment, you're gonna love it. It's easy, there's no mess, and it's also healthy because we're not using a tremendous amount of oil to do the cooking. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start with our vegetables. I have three different things that we're gonna be using. I have fennel, leek, and some carrots. And what's nice is there has been no run on fennel, leek, or carrots at the grocery store. Last week you couldn't find an onion, but these are readily available. Just so that you know, I did wash everything, including my hands, for our happy birthday song. The vegetables, I even put in a detergent bath, rinsed them very well. So we're gonna start off with a few carrots. I like the idea of the shredded carrots, saves you some time, some energy, and like I said, they're readily available. If you have some left over, you can make a carrot raisin salad, a little cumin, a little olive oil, a little garlic, nice little side dish. The next thing we're gonna do is the leek. Now, I'm assuming a lot of you have never worked with leek before. This is, of course, in the onion family. As I like to say, it's like a scallion on steroids. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna cut off the end. And you also cut off this part at the edge. Unfortunately, it's pretty. It looks like the top of a pineapple maybe, but it's not edible. It's very, very tough. So we're gonna toss that. Even on good days, when we wash our vegetables, I always take the leek and I cut it down first. The reason I do that is there's like concentric circles, and as you can see here, there's a little bit of dirt right in here. So you want to make sure that you wash this thoroughly, even on a good day when we're not worried about viruses. I have one here that I've already done. I even took off the top layer just to be sure, and we're going to give it a nice little slice. Always use your good sharp knife, otherwise you're just fighting with yourself. Okay, I think that's all we need. Put it in with my carrots. And now we're gonna go on to our fennel. Fennel is what black licorice is made of. However, I always like to say I absolutely loathe black licorice. It's like my least favorite thing. But fennel is light and earthy, and if you've never had it before, it's wonderful. It's delicious to saute with like a little bit of Parmesan. Really kind of an underrated vegetable here in the States. Okay, I'm gonna also once again take off the very bottom and take off these little legs. Don't throw these away yet though, because we're gonna actually use some of these fennel fronds for our fish. I like to cut this in half, and I'm also gonna trim out the core. It can be a little tough, so we're just gonna trim that out. Alrighty, now we're also going to cut this in nice, even pieces. We're trying to get these in what I call julienne, which is actually a shoestring in French, or that shape, like a julienne fry. Put them in here. And we'll do the other one quickly, and then we're gonna add in okay, that'll do it. Separate the pieces. We're gonna add in some fresh thyme. Now, when you're working with fresh thyme, of course, they come in lovely little branches like this. You don't want too much of the branch. You hold it, you pull against the grain. If you take your time, all those pretty little leaves will come right off. And that's what you're aiming for, as opposed to a lot of the twig. The twig is just not a nice mouthfeel, so you're going to try to aim for the little leaves. Okay. Also to this, and we're going to revisit this in a few minutes, also to this we're going to add just a little bit of garlic. This is not a garlic dish. This is not a heavy like Italian flavor dish, but the little bit of garlic does wake it up. So I'm going to add, I don't know, I don't even have my regular tablespoons or teaspoons out. I don't know, add just a little bit in there. Some salt and pepper. This is the worst salt and pepper shaker ever, but I still use it because we bought it in Portugal. It's sentimental, but it's crappy. All right, so we're gonna give this a good stir. Gonna saute this. Delicious. We're gonna saute this in a little bit of olive oil until it's a little past tender crisp. You do want this pretty much cooked, but of course you don't want it mushy. And voila, we have our vegetables ready to go. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna show you, and I'm gonna just move this out of the way for a sec, is how we're gonna be cooking this in our parchment paper. Now, when I was at Wegmans today, I can tell you there's no toilet paper and no Kleenex, but there is a lot of parchment paper, so nobody has been worrying about buying that. I'm gonna cut off a nice piece. Let's make that a little bigger. We're going to lay it out on our clean board. And we're gonna put a nice amount of these vegetables right here, right in the center. And the amount is gonna depend on the size piece of fish you have. One thing I forgot to mention, by the way, as it's sitting right here in front of me, is as I was sauteing my vegetables, towards the end, I did put in about a tablespoon or so of vermouth. You can use this, you can use a nice dry white wine, whatever you have in your house. You don't want this soggy, so you really want it to evaporate, just want it to get a nice scent of the wine. Please steer away from the cooking wines that you buy in the supermarket. Not good. You want to have a table wine, or once again, vermouth. It's great. It has a screw cap, so it's easy to store for later on. So we have that. We have a piece of salmon that is going to go right on the top. And if it's a little skinnier on the bottom, let's try to fold it over so we get more of a consistent shape, so it'll cook evenly. Got to give a quick rinse. And now we're going to get a little salt and pepper on the top. Once again, with my lousy salt shaker. And some pepper. A little bit more of our thyme. And this time, if a little bit of the twig goes on, I'm not going to worry about it quite as much because it will cook on there. A little bit of thyme. Remember we mentioned the fennel fronds. We're going to pull some of these off and chop them. There's actually a lot of flavor in this. So we're going to lightly chop these. Sprinkle on the top. And then the last thing we're going to do is drizzle a little bit of olive oil. This is extra virgin olive oil. A little bit of olive oil on the top. And we're going to close up our package. Okay, this is the fun part. You're going to make a present out of this. fold. I want to make sure my cameraman is getting this. Make a nice crescent. And we're going to fold under and under. Now you say to me, Shelby, how is that going to stay? So, just to give you some history, Julia Childs used to use straight pins. Fancy French chefs will make an edible glue out of water and cornstarch or water and flour. Well, this is not dinner party. We're not worrying about dinner party right now. So this is the Shelby method. It's just to take a stapler and staple it down. And you have a beautiful little package. You're going to put this on a foil-covered baking sheet, 350 for 20 minutes. And through the magic of television, we're going to take it out. Open it up. And this is going to be our finished product. You can serve it in the little package, which is kind of fun. That's what I've done actually when I've catered dinner parties and done this. Often I've taken a pretty lemon piece. Oh, it needs to be a little wider. I put a little lemon slice inside of there, and that's it. Easy, easy, easy. Okay, I'm going to do one more fish for you, which is also very easy. And I'm just going to quickly move some of my fennel, which we're not going to be using. And we're going to do a flip on here so that we have a clean board and a rinse of the knife. Okay, the next fish dish we're going to be doing is a bronzini. And this is going to go directly on a foil-covered baking sheet, no oil. As you notice, the skin is on the fish, whereas with the salmon, the fish did not have the skin. Not that I'm purposely plugging Wegmans, but they have had this nice, already filleted bronzini. And once again, just like the salmon, I like to square it up so that it cooks at an even temp. We're going to salt and pepper it. And here is what we're going to top it with. All in this nice basket. I've got some sun-dried tomatoes that I'm going to put on here. If you're more comfortable wearing gloves, I suggest you do that. It's up to you. My hands are clean, but once again, times are a little different than normal. We've got some artichoke hearts that we're going to put on here. These are the quartered, and they've already had the brine drained out of them. We're going to put these along the top. Once again, this is easy to get. Nobody is hoarding artichoke hearts. Some capers. Just put them on. Doesn't have to be that artful. Once again, we're not doing dinner parties right now. We have, let's see, what else do we have in here? Oh, this is my favorite. We have some fresh oregano. This is great. It smells beautiful. So we're going to sprinkle some of that using the same technique. Go back to my thyme. Let's put some of that on as well. I wish you could smell this. The fresh herbs are just wonderful. You smell the capers. We've got some tomatoes, regular tomatoes. And let's put a few of these on. We'll put these in half. We need a little color on this to make this look nice. These are the tricolor tomatoes. Let's get one of these. And what else have we not put on here yet in this collection? Let's see, some of the sweet basil. Take your basil leaves, you're going to roll them up, give a slice, make chiffonades. Don't bring your finger with it. And once again, we're going to put those on top. Speaking of finger, when else would I do a demo with polish missing? Alrighty, next thing we're going to do, I have some olives, but you know, I don't think I'm into the olives. I'm not in the mood for that. So I'm going to once again drizzle a nice drizzle of olive oil. And ladies and gentlemen, that is it. This is going to go in the oven as well. I'm going to say I normally cook my fish 350 for 20 minutes. I think this one I'm going to change that to maybe 400 for about 14 minutes. I think that'll do that well. I don't have one of these pre-done. You can take a look at this, decide if you think that would be a lovely, healthy dish during the week. You can also use, they've had rockfish available. For the parchment paper, any thick fish, if you're not a salmon lover, snapper would work well. I do suggest not to use cod. Cod gets a little watery. So that's it. That's our demo. Let me know if you want me to do this again. I've got bazillion recipe ideas and can try to help cheer you guys up over the next couple weeks. Bon appetit.